Time for the Improbability Engine After Show. I'm Will Aubrey. My buddy Joe Darnell is here. And we're talking about the greatest sports songs today.
Now,
And
those aren't songs that necessarily reference a sport, but are either used in sports, they might reference sports, they might have been something that you always hear at sporting events that are just iconic sports songs. Does that sound good to you?
define it however you want to.
Okay, all right.
All right. For me, number one has to be The Boys of Fall. It is an awesome song, and I think it's clearly number one without any question. It really captures the feeling of what high school football and high school sports, for that matter, is all about.
You know, that's a good one, but I'm going to counteract and say the greatest sports song of all time, Center Field by John Fogerty.
Great song, and I'm not in position to argue against that.
That's where I'm at with yours. I can't argue against it. It's one of those like, well, you know, we're just here. This is where we're at.
Yeah.
You know, the thing with good sports songs is they elicit an emotional response. As a kid, whenever I'd hear Center Field, it was always in the spring, right before baseball season starts. I was still going to school, but baseball practice would happen after school. And it was the greatest feeling in the world to hear that song come on while you're getting your glove and your bat, and maybe you haven't gotten to play with the new glove that you just got or something like that. What a fantastic feeling it was to go out there and play. You know, it's starting to get warm and the grass is up, and it's perfect. And every time I think of that, I always think of the smell of leather from a baseball glove and fresh cut grass, and it's awesome. I love that. I love that. It really is.
It's just, Center Field is just a terrific song. And I can't think, there's a song that until I actually bothered to listen to the lyrics, I always thought was a sports song, but isn't.
Okay.
And now I can't think of the title of it. So maybe if you can, maybe I can look for it while you
Not
do
a
your
problem.
thing.
All right, so this one is actually two songs, but they're always played back to back. We Will Rock You by Queen and We Are the Champions.
Right.
Two fantastic songs. Of course, Freddie Mercury and Queen, one of the greatest rock bands of all time. They come up with this song. It's We Will Rock You is visceral. It's, boom, boom, clap, boom, boom. You hear it all the time. In almost any sporting event, you can hear We Will Rock You. And then the soft building crescendo of We Are the Champions. There is nothing better than We Are the Champions. There is nothing better, because that means that, it's OVC championship time. They're cutting down the nets. We Are the Champions are playing. Murray State's climbing the ladder, and God, don't cut yourself with the scissors. It's the greatest feeling in the world, and it's just a wonderful song, and every time I hear it, it just makes me get fired up.
Now, the next two that I'm going to mention are great in that they're horrible.
Oh, God, please say Lady of Spain.
In the way, it just horrible songs to use for a women's basketball team.
Okay.
That did not stop Murray State from using them. Okay?
All right, yeah.
I'll never forget back when Eddie Fields was the coach at Murray State. The Lady Racers come running out on the floor, and you hear Rick Springfield sing, "She's a very freaky girl."
Oh, that is really not good.
No.
Yeah, that's not
the
good.
The kind you don't take home to mother. No, that's not good.
You just listen and you go, oh, that was wrong.
And then Who Let the Dogs Out? Also not good.
It only works if your team's mascot is a dog.
Yeah.
It only works in that situation. And quite honestly, I'm going to say this one. As a Callaway County Laker, I have some negative feelings about this, but as a Rocky fan, I love this song, Eye of the Tiger. Now,
it's a great song.
It's a great song.
But I used to, when I was playing, when I was like in my late teens, early 20s, if I was playing cards or board games and I was losing, I would put that album on. I would get up, go grab that album.
What you needed is a montage. Yeah, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
A victory montage. Okay, so here's another one that I've heard at every sporting event. It was on the Rock Jock CDs. I don't know. People of my age group probably remember that. Rock and Roll Part 2. I thought you'd say that. Allow me to illustrate my point.
Okay.
This is a song by British rock and roller Gary Glitter, who's been met with scandal in his personal life. And really the only positive thing that I can think of about Gary Glitter is Rock and Roll Part 2. And as I pull this up, I want you to, you know this song. And when you hear it, you'll know you know it. So let me see if I can get it going. Nothing yet?
No.
Everybody at home's already kind of nodding their head. They know it's coming up. It's happening.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Might be the
guitar
simplest
riff.
song ever. I mean, this is one of those songs that really, you listen to it and you go, I've heard that at every sporting event that I can imagine. I bet they have it during the chess finals or the Scripps National Spelling Bee. They go,
Well, that's enough of stuff.
So you get songs like that are played, and you don't even really know. I don't know who Gary Glitter is. I don't know Rock and Roll Part 2. What is that? But I'm telling you, if you're a Murray State Pep Band guy, you know Rock and Roll Part 2. You know that song, and you play it loud.
All right, we're gonna. Okay, you were talking about center field,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And the same guy, I believe, did Run for the Roses,
Yeah, yeah.
which is a horse racing song, and it's a great song.
Absolutely. And honestly, when you get to some like those, you get you have two different types of music as it comes to sports songs. You get the ones that are the pump you up, relatively sport generic songs, and then you get the ballads that are heartstring kind of songs. And I think that Run for the Roses is one that evokes memories of races past and is, very
What
kind of-
about One Shining Moment?
That's exactly where I was going to go, Will. One
Okay.
shining moment is to college basketball what, what a lot of sport music wants to be. It's the thing that is absolutely ingrained. Unto itself, One Shining Moment is kind of a saccharine sweet song that doesn't really do much for you. But come March, when you play One Shining Moment, it is the most evocative song you can possibly have. It's just a fantastic thing. It's the theme song of March Madness.
And before you were born,
Oh God.
the theme song of March Madness, the song that resonated with every University of Louisville fan after the 1980 championship. This is it.
This is it. Yeah.
This is it. Make no mistake where you are.
Yeah, you get some of those. You get some of those songs, and you'll get. It's funny whenever you hear teams kind of take on their own stuff. I mean, what people don't realize is back in the 70s, NFL football teams had their own marching bands. They had their own songs.
Well, this wasn't a U of L song. It was the intro song to March Madness.
Right, but you get to this point where the idea of having sports and music was not a collegiate thing, but was an entire sports thing. And nowhere was it more perfected than in college sports, where they would take a song that fit perfectly and they would use that and it'd be powerful.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely true. I mean, go to YouTube and search for West Virginia country roads.
Absolutely.
It's
yes.
just it will give you chills.
Yeah, and you get some of those where this is an area that I know this is not your favorite sport, but in soccer, songs are ubiquitous, but they're absolutely tied to your team. For example, Sheffield United, which is a team that used to be in the English Premier League, the top division, would sing a song called the Greasy Chip Booty Song, which is, it's actually, they've changed the words to, you fill up my senses. But what they do is they talk about things that are unique to Sheffield. And so that was just, you get to this whole thing where this is an us thing. It's a very poignant moment where we all can join together.
Back in the 70s, there was a Houston Oilers song. Houston Oilers #1. And then Go Cubs Go and Choke Cubs Choke, which was a parody of Go Cubs Go.
Those are both really good. But if we're going to talk about horrifyingly bad, so bad that they're good, the San Diego Chargers theme song might be the best, worst song in the history of the world. I'm going to play a couple seconds of it so you can hear it, but do not get it stuck into your head, because I'm here to tell you it is bad. It's going to be an earworm, and I'm sorry offhand. Oh yeah. What you guys don't see is Will is actually dancing to this song right now. He is really enjoying it. And you know what? That's what sports music's about. Right? So this is kind of an...
Does it have any words?
It does. It does.
Oh, good grief.
Oh, it's bad. It's so bad. It's horribly, horribly bad. And the San Diego Chargers no longer exist, so that's kind of an epitaph for a once great and proud disco funk franchise called the San Diego Superchargers.
Wow.
See, sports music can be good and it can be bad. I think you put that into Sweet Caroline. Okay?
I love Sweet Caroline.
See, I don't love Sweet Caroline.
Really?
I don't. But at a sporting event, I'll sing along because that's what you do. You go, oh, that's all
Of course, I love Neil Diamond songs. Brother Love's Traveling Salvation Show. The way that begins, that's just an incredible
And I can appreciate that. But it's one of those where you get to some of those that the song itself has kind of been surpassed by the spectacle of the song. I mean, maybe not Sweet Caroline, because Neil Diamond is, he's an American treasure. But there are songs that happen like that. Darude Sandstorm. It is a piece of techno music that's, it really wasn't ever a big song. But for the people who know Darude Sandstorm, that's what you play in the fourth quarter or in the last part of the second half of a game to get everybody pumped up. And to the point where you're like, oh, God, this song. And it's played everywhere. You'll know it when you hear it.
One final one for me, and they used to play it, they may still do, at Philadelphia Flyers games. They would play it instead of the national anthem, Kate Smith's version of God Bless America. And it was oddly kind of their fight song in a way. And they would play, they didn't play it all the time instead of God Bless America. But if it was a big game,
right,
it was God. They didn't play it all the time instead of the national anthem. But if it was a big game, they were playing Kate Smith.
Absolutely, and you get some of that in there, and I think that's where the emotional heartstrings. You can find different teams and different bands pulling together. Detroit, they sing "Don't Stop Believing" at Red Wings games. Great song. The part that gets sung the loudest, born and raised in South Detroit. Huge sound at Joe Louis Arena. A fantastic song. And, you'll get songs like that are evocative of an era and a time, and a lot of places hold on to those things. And I think that's something that all sports have in common.
Got anything else?
So many good songs. Let us know if we missed any. I know we probably have. Let us know.
That brings to a close this edition of the Improbability Engine.